In today's video, we're going to look at section 2-1, writing equations. So now that we're dealing with equations, we got to throw in an equal sign. So we have our words from the last chapter of what means add, subtract, multiply, divide. Now we need to look at what words mean equal. And here, some of them given right here are the word is as much as, is the same as, is identical to, we could put in there is equal to. I mean, there are a ton out there, and this is just a short list for you to look at. So let's practice this now. Remember, we have our other words that mean add, subtract, multiply, divide, powers, all that stuff. So let's put it into application. So translate each sentence into an equation. So I'm just going to look for words that I know. So 5 times, that's right away. I have 5 times the number a squared. Okay, we just learned what that is. Is means equal. 3 times the sum of. Well, so we got 3 times. When we say sum of two numbers, we got to throw in parentheses. So we have sum of b and c. Why plus? Because that means sum means addition. So I'm going to just simplify this down now. So 5a squared, because we want to just eliminate the time symbol because it might look like an x, is equal to 3 times b plus c. So all I did was look at words and find out what they mean and then write them down right as I go. Next one. 9 times a number subtracted from 95 equals 37. So here we go. 9 times a number. So any number, let's just call it n for number, and then 9 times that. Subtracted from. Now this is another one of those tricky, kind of like less than. So subtracted from, so just think, if I 3 subtracted from 5. So that means I switch, it's subtraction, but it's flipping the two numbers of 95. Equals, well, that just obviously means equal, 37. So we actually have 95 minus 9 times n, or 9n, is equal to 37. And there we go. So now we're going to look at problem solving. Now, word problems are a real challenge for some people because they don't follow the 4-step plan. Now, it's called the 4-step plan because essentially there's 4 steps. You explore the problem, meaning look at all the information given. Okay, lay it out, see where everything is. Then make a plan. Well, what does it truly ask for? Where can I set things up? Solve the problem. Try your analysis and then check to see if that makes sense. So, use the information at the left. In how many days can 40 million gallons of ice cream be produced in the United States? So we're told the first ice cream plant was established in 1851. Today, 2 million gallons of ice cream are produced each day, or per day. So now we look at the information of the date when it was first created. Doesn't mean anything. We can kind of eliminate that. Okay, 2 million per day. So if there's 40, we want to know how many days. So if we want to know 40 million. Make sure I did this right. And we want to know how many gallons per day. So we got to get rid of the number of gallons, and just so we're left with days. So we have 2 million on the bottom. So then using our math abilities, we can do this really easily. All our zeros will cancel out, and then we're just left with 40 divided by 2, which gives us 20. And so 20 days. It would take 20 days to create 40 million gallons. And that makes sense, because if you just go down to a basic number, if you had 40 gallons and you have 2 gallons of ice cream, let's just say you eat 2 gallons of ice cream a day, which is a lot, and you'd probably be sick. But if you ate 2 gallons of ice cream a day, it would take 40 gallons. So it makes sense in this sense that it would take 20 days to create 40 million gallons with 2 million a day. Okay. Now, a formula is an equation that states a rule for the relationship between certain quantities. So we're given specific quantities. Now, it can be 2 quantities, it can be 3. It's a formula that says this is related to this and this produces this. Okay, so translate the formula into the sentence into a formula. The perimeter of a rectangle equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So and they gave us letters. We have an L over here and a W over here. So the perimeter we're going to call P. The perimeter of a rectangle, so just telling us what it deals with. So of a rectangle doesn't mean anything to us. So equals 2 times the length, L, plus 2 times the width. So really, I mean, all it's saying is P equals, and I'm going to get rid of the X's for times and just put in the basic, just 2L plus 2W. Okay, so all we really did was change what we want to into symbols. And that's what we got to look to do as we translate into equations. So translate each into a verbal sentence. Now some people think this is tricky. It's not. You can literally write down what you would say. So 3 times m plus 5 is equal to 14. You could literally write that down and you would be correct. Now there are multiple ways to do it. I wrote, for a different example, 3 times m increased by 5 is 14. That is 100% right. I could have said plus 15. I could have said is identical to 14, is the same as 14. So there's so many different ways. So if you just say it out loud, you will have a correct answer. You just have to write it down. The next one, W plus V is equal to Y squared. Now I could write those exact words down. I changed it up a little bit just to have a little bit different. W plus V is the same as the square of Y. So see how there's some variation, but they were both correct in our answer. So keep that in mind when you translate. Just write down what you say as you read it.